Yes, thank you, William, for that word. And I'd like to introduce the third person to come and speak. Prosper. Praise the Lord, church. As you could probably tell, my name is Prosper. I'm 12 and this was my first DTI. It was a really enjoyable experience. There was a lot of things there that I enjoyed doing, such as the main meetings, the worship, praising God, being with my friends from the youth, being able to praise all together. Being with other believers can change your perspective. Because when you have a trouble, you can always go to someone else. Especially the youth leaders, I thank you them. I give them my thanks for showing me and what God can do. I also enjoyed the seminars, the preaching, what they taught us. I also enjoyed finally football. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot from these seminars. There was a lot of seminars, some are optional, some of the main meetings, but I enjoyed them, such as seeking God first in all we do. As William said, that was the theme of DTI, and just seeking God in life. I've learned that God is indescribable. Jesus Christ, He's Alpha and Omega. He's the beginning and the end. He's unchanging. He's the same today, yesterday, and tomorrow. I learned that in Colossians 1 verse 15, Paul was talking about trying to describe God. But God is so good, you can barely scrape the surface of what He is, because He's that good. One of the things He said is He is the image of the invisible God. He is the visible likeness of the invisible God. I also learned that us as Christians, whatever we do, we are on Jesus' mission. So we have to represent Jesus to show other people that Jesus is King. He is loving. He's forgiving. And that He's always there. I also learned about forgiveness. How forgiveness, if we forgive one person, it's not only helping them, but us as well. For when we let go of that anger, it helps us be more calmer, as well as the person we're forgiving, who are receiving forgiveness. Help them learn that God has infinite forgiveness. We can always turn back to Him. I also learned about in friendships and relationships, about the best love you can have for a friend is sacrificial love. Laying down your life for one of your friends. It doesn't always mean just actual dying for your friends. It means giving up things and not always putting yourself first in the friendship, but always looking at letting your friend be first. I also learned about, from Daniel, standing firm as a Christian, that how Daniel, although when he was captured and took to Babylon, that although they gave him the king's food and the king's wine, but he stood firm, he put his foot down and said, I will not eat this food, I will not drink this wine. I will not shame myself, for I am a Christian. And also, finally, what I want to talk about today, hope. Hope in life is optional. It's always there, but you don't have to have it. But I think it's one of the most important things. After this story that someone said at DTI about a girl, I think she was around 13, called Lauren. Apparently, she had a lot of problems in her health. She wasn't healthy, she had a brain tumor. In 2 months, she developed cancer, but she always had hope. She was always happy. She always had joy in life. She was always looking at the positive things instead of the negatives. She was even told she'd die in 1 month. But she still was happy. She said that after they came back from the hospital, and her mum, the person who was preaching, said, "What do you want to do?" And she smiled and she said, "I want to go bowling." She was told 1 month she would die, but she was still happy. And it really touched me. And I think that we can learn that hope. Our health might deteriorate. Everything might go away, but one thing we should have in life is hope. Hope that things will always be all right. Hope that there is life after death. Hope in Jesus Christ. And there's some verses whilst I was reading my Bible that I saw were linked to hope. One verse, Hebrews 6 verses 19. It says, "We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. It enters the inner sanctuary behind the curtain." It's talking about hope as life's anchor. How I imagined it in my head, that the shore is joy, the shore is happiness, all the good things in life. And hope is the anchor. And that if we have hope, it keeps us down there at that shore. It keeps us at joy. It keeps us happy. But if we don't have hope, it's so easy for the tide to take us away into sadness and depression and things like that. But if we have hope, we'll stay strong and we'll always look at the positives. Also, James 1 verses 2 to 3. "Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know the testing of your faith develops perseverance." What he's saying, I think James is saying this, I'm guessing. In this verse, he's saying that if challenges come, we should always be happy about it. Because even the devil can see how strong we are in faith. That he has to ask God himself, come to God and say, "Can I challenge this person? Can I challenge this young boy, this young girl, this person? Can I challenge their faith?" And God himself, he says yes, because he knows that we're strong in faith and that we should be happy, knowing that the devil himself, Lucifer, has realized how strong we are in faith, that he has to come and challenge us. And so we should always overcome these challenges, because it helps us mature in faith. From the same chapter, verse 12, James 1 verse 12, it says, "Blessed is the man who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him." What it's saying is, people whose hope and faith endures these challenges that come at us, they are blessed. Because the challenges, they don't only come and go. They come and they strengthen us when we go over them. They help us stand firm in faith. And one thing I want to say is that when we're talking about these things, for example, hope, that one thing I learned from DTI is that we should keep it and show it in public. Wherever we go, work, school, wherever you go, you should show that you can demonstrate these things to everyone. So you can show that God's love is eternal, that God's forgiveness is infinite, that he is King of kings, that he is Lord of lords. So we should show the sacrificial love. We should stand firm. We should forgive. We should represent God. And we should seek God in everything we do. Everything we do. From praying to learning, even playing football. We should demonstrate that God is the Alpha and the Omega. Thank you for listening to me.